Hello and welcome to the Anxiety Antagonist. In this video I'm going to list the major things I've tried to get rid of my panic attacks, what has and what has not worked, and why this entire way of trying to solve anxiety with some external solution is fundamentally hurting progress towards a life without anxiety and panic, and why I believe focusing on these things can be quite hurtful in the end. Now, back when I first got my panic disorder, I was a bit of a slob. I smoked, ate like crap, never worked out, played video games for 5 to 10 hours a day. The list goes on. It was pretty bad. I slept really bad. You name it, I probably did it. So my list of potential things that I could improve was quite long. And I thought maybe one of these things or all these things caused my panic attacks. So my early attacks centered a lot around stomach issues. So my first idea was I have to improve my diet. Since I felt bad for eating almost anything, I started cutting out almost anything. For a bit, I ate buttered toast, rice, some chicken, and bananas. That was it. This was not a great diet, I will admit. It made my energy levels go way down, and I didn't stick with it for very long. I had no plan really. I had never tried anything dietary before, so it was just bad all around, and I quickly fell back into my old eating habits. Since then, I have improved my diet in an appropriate way. I eat smaller portions and eat better food and stuff like that. I actually lost about 40 pounds, so that's cool. It has not removed my anxiety. It has not removed my panic attacks at all. It has improved my quality of life, and it has made me more energized and, the things you can count on happening from improving your diet, but it has not removed my panic attacks. So would I recommend this to people? Sure. Obviously, it will probably improve your life drastically if you can stick with it, but it will not remove your panic attacks most likely, but feel free to try it if you want. All around, big thumbs up from me, even if I sound a little bit down on it. It's mainly because it didn't remove my panic attacks, which was my main focus at the time, at least. Now, on a similar note, I've tried a bunch of supplements, vitamins, minerals, omega-3 and such, fatty acids. If you find yourself wanting to pursue this, I think you should probably go see a doctor, because if you think you have deficiencies, you can get tested. Get a bunch of tests and trust what the doctors have to say. And if you still feel like trying supplements, don't go around Googling a bunch of stuff, because you will find miracle pills all over the place. It's a very sketchy area, supplements in general. And I see a lot of posts about supplements. I mean, if you want to try them, go ahead, but I can't stop you. I wouldn't put my faith in a supplement to remove my panic attacks unless a doctor tells you have deficiencies in that area. They will find them if that's the case. So go see a doctor if you have any doubts, and if you still want to try, I'm sure. But in my case, at least, when I tried supplements, I felt better for a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks. I thought I had found the magic cure, and oh my god, I just had to eat some more vitamin D or whatever. And then I had a panic attack, and it all went out the window. So it was mainly placebo, for sure, in my case. So I went to a doctor a lot later and got tested and stuff like that. So they told me you have no deficiencies in those areas, so I put my trust in them, and I've actually started feeling better about the whole situation after that, because I don't worry as much about it. So on a similar note, again, is working out. And this is probably the one thing I've tried that has the most impact on my life and my overall mood. working out has made me feel a lot better about myself and about my whole situation, really. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, I can't work out. You don't know my situation, or I'm depressed, I can't even get to the gym, stuff like that. I sympathize with that 100% because I could barely get to the gym in the beginning. And if I got there, I felt horrible after a couple of minutes. As soon as my heart started pounding, I was out the door because it felt like I had a panic attack. And that's probably why it's been so helpful, because if you stick with it, and you will notice it's not dangerous. So you will start to learn how to differentiate between, oh, my heart is pounding a bit, but I'm not dying from it. I'm not having a heart attack or anything like that. So try and stick with it if you're going to try it. Start slow. Don't go run a mile a day, or do a mile a day might not be that much actually, but don't go running forever or lift insane weights or do 6 times a day, 6 times a week rather. Don't be silly about it. Start with three times a week. Do anything. Go for a walk. If you have a hard time walking outside, just go around your house or whatever. It will probably make you feel a bit better. But it did not remove my panic attacks. It did not remove my anxiety completely, but it made my life better for sure. Another thing that I have tried that has worked well is meditation and yoga, uh, both of which I do regularly now because it makes me feel better. Once again, it has not removed my panic attacks, it has not removed my anxiety, but it's quite nice when you have a really bad day to calm down and focus on other things. It has improved my life a lot, made me think better. If that's the thing you can say. It's made me more focused, and I would recommend it to anyone. Go in with an open mind. It's not something religious. You don't have to be all namaste and do silly stand on your head or things like that, because most of my focus is on breathing and meditation and letting go, basically, because I worry a lot. It's not weird that it has helped, but it has not removed my panic or my anxiety. Now, I've also tried quitting a bunch of things. Quit smoking, quit drinking caffeine, quit drinking alcohol, and I've tried dramatically reducing my sugar intake because all that energy fueled my anxiety, I thought. Once again, it made me feel a little bit better, not quite as on edge. Caffeine is probably the one thing that has reduced my anxiety the most, but it has not removed my panic attacks. It has not removed my anxiety completely. And I think I quit all these things for the wrong reason, because I projected my panic attacks on these things. I will return to this topic in detail in a moment, but if you want to try, it doesn't hurt. I mean, quitting smoking especially is probably a very good decision, so try and do that if you want, or don't. I've tried antidepressants as well. Now this is a touchy subject, and I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you what to do, but for me, it worked for a while. It definitely worked for a while, but long term it just wasn't for me, because it made my mood, if my mood was like this during my panic attacks, it flattened out a bit and then it started getting a bit worse. So it was nice to not have as low dips, but I missed the highs whenever something good happened. I just felt kind of like a zombie. Now, in my case, I was on something called sertraline, which is essentially Zoloft, I think. No, once again, I'm not a doctor, but it's an SSRI, basically. And in the beginning, it drastically reduced my attacks. the thing is, it made me feel better the same day I started taking it. So once again, it was probably a lot of placebo, but during a time period I felt better. It did not remove my attacks, it did not remove my anxiety, but it made the problems a bit better, easier to stay at work and stuff like that. So try it. I'm not averse to it at all. Like, some people I see are like, don't even try it. It might work for you. It just wasn't for me long term. One more thing about that. One of the causes for me to stop was I started getting anxiety about the time when I was going to stop. Like, if I increase my dosage, it will be harder to quit and stuff like that. I mean, you don't get physically addicted or anything like that, but the symptoms of quitting can be rough. For me, it was pretty rough. I was very dizzy. I had problems with my stomach, and yeah, it was pretty bad. And I wasn't even that on that of high dose. So I just kind of wanted it over with, so I just did it. No, I went to a doctor, of course, and they helped me quit, but came up with a plan, and I didn't do it on my own. So go see your doctor, and if they recommend SSRIs, sure, go ahead and try. Once again, though, did not remove my panic attacks, did not remove my anxiety completely. Anxiety and panic attacks are not cured by changing something external. I'm sure there are cases where people have had deficiencies and they had to take supplements made to feel better, but you can't cure anxiety. It's not something to be cured. It's a normal bodily function. Like, anxiety, it has to be there. There are situations where anxiety and panic is good. It is trying to save your life. The problem is it's firing a lot more than it should. And I will go into more detail on this, but I want to mention this point in this video because all these things that I've tried, I was projecting my anxiety and my panic attacks on these things. I was thinking, if I just change this, everything will get better. And then it didn't, so I moved my focus to something else, and it didn't get better, and I just moved my anxiety around instead of facing the problem. Like, you can't cure anxiety. Like I said, it's a normal bodily function. It would be like curing hunger or sadness or whatever. It has to be there. The problem is you're stressed out. You're worrying. You think something is wrong, so you have more anxiety, and you get worried about that anxiety, so you get more anxiety, and eventually it just flows over and you have a panic attack. And you get afraid of that, and you add anxiety to that feeling, and you get scared of everything in your body changing. Like, any feeling you get. If you get hungry, if you get jittery, if you drink too much coffee, everything is a panic attack. Like, I've heard of cases where people get very happy and they think they're having a panic attack. Like, you're just scanning yourself for attacks and panic and anxiety all the time. So you get stressed out and it becomes a huge problem. And worrying about external factors makes this worse and hinders your progress for sure. I'm convinced that's the case, because even if I felt better short term when I changed all these things, and many of them have improved my life in some ways, the projection has made me not grasp the situation. Like, it has made me not face my fears, basically. And it has added to my anxiety, because I always thought I would solve the problem somewhere else. And this might not be easy to hear. I might sound like cold towards people with anxiety, and I don't want to sound like I'm talking down to you or I'm telling you something that seems obvious, but it took me years to grasp this point, which is why I'm trying to hammer it home. This is the first time, ever since I truly convinced myself that nothing's wrong and anxiety is a normal function and it's nothing to be afraid of, it has changed my entire outlook on this problem. Like, that's why I kept doing the disorder thing in my other video, because I don't even consider it a disorder anymore. The problem is you are scared of a normal bodily function. I mean, in theory, you could be scared of anything. You could be scared of being hungry, so you eat a lot. You could be scared of being happy, so you close yourself in. That would be kind of weird, but anything's possible, I guess. But in this case, you're scared of being scared, which is just an endless loop of being scared, because as soon as you get scared, you get more scared, and yeah, you get the point. So hopefully hearing this would change your perspective a little bit on the attacks. For me, as I said, it took years, so I will come back to this point a lot. I will tell you this over and over and over. Anxiety, nothing's wrong with you. Like, you're just stressed. Your nerves are fried from all this stress, and you get scared of everything. And since you're scared, your body, you get anxious, and you get panic attacks because the situation is out of control. So feel free to try the things that I've tried. I'm not saying it didn't help at all. Some of the things were very helpful, and it's improved my quality of life, and that's the point. Try them. They might make you feel better, but don't do it for the wrong reasons. Don't think you will cure your panic attacks by doing these things. Improve your life. Make yourself feel better, so that when you feel worse, it doesn't go from I feel bad to I feel worse. You go from I feel good to feeling bad, if you know what I mean. Like, that will probably help you improve your life, but don't stress out about that. Like, focus on the main thing, which is anxiety isn't dangerous and nothing's wrong with you. Now, I hope you feel better soon, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.